Good evening, and welcome. Welcome to Rome Neal's Banana Pudding Jazz. My name is Rome Neal. I'm the guy who makes the banana pudding and the jazz for your delight. We'd like to welcome you to this particular evening of Rome Neal's Banana Pudding Jazz because this is so very special. I get to honor and pay homage to some of my good soul sisters. I say sisters because they are sisters and they are stars. And they bring it wherever they go with their musical talent, their beautiful voices. And it's just an honor and pleasure to have them on this show. I know a lot, quite a few sisters, but these four I selected from my heart because they've been close to me in this music over the years. And I just like to introduce them to you in such a wonderful way where you can hear them, but hear their stories and also the stories of some of the great, I mean legendary jazz vocalists, female jazz vocalists, because this is Women's History Month, and we're coming to the close of it. And it's so sad to come to a close, but it doesn't end because we must always remember our sisters, and we always remember to honor them and worship them and be there for them like they are here for us. I'm not going to ramble along and along. We want to get into the show. We have some fantastic artists lined up for you. Mavis Swan Poole, a wonderful vocalist, award-winning vocalist. Her last recording was on the Soul Tracks, nominated for Best Song, and she was nominated for Best Vocalist this past year. And she has performed with on the bill with Prince, um, Gladys Knight, just to name a few, Lauryn Hill, and she's just a fantastic, Marvtastic woman with two lovely children who have been on my show also doing Banana Pudding Jazz. Let's have a hand for my soul sister, the Queen, Mavis Swan Poole. Hi, Mavis.
Peace, King Rome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Great, 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 great.
Let's see if I can uh, get some people out of the studio, and we just be you and me. Well, we'd like to welcome you to this program, and this is your second time on the program too, right?
Yes, it's my second time.
That's right.
Yes,
The last time was such a wonderful happening for all of us. Um,
absolutely.
we're like jazz. We're making this up as we go along, and I just like to say that again, it's an honor to have you on the show, not as a vocalist, but you're going to give us um, was it Carmen McRae, right?
Yes, sir.
You're going to become Carmen McRae for us. So let's have a little bit of Carmen McRae coming from our fabulous Marvtastic vocalist Mavis Swan Poole.
All right. When you meet somebody for the first time, there are certain things you're supposed to say, which you may not mean, but they sound polite as can be. Would you like to learn them? Well, then repeat after me. Happy to make your acquaintance. Thank you so much. I feel fine. Happy to make your acquaintance. And let me say the pleasure is mine. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carmen Mercedes McRae. Now, I am a product of West Indian Jamaican parents. And with my upbringing, I was born on April the 8th in 1920 in Harlem, New York. And we all know about Harlem. We know how it goes. And, my parents wanted me to be into the music, they wanted me to be a musician. So I chose piano. I chose piano and I played piano for 5 years from the ages of 8 to 13. And my parents took a chance on me playing piano because it takes a lot to commit to an 8-year-old and saying, that especially in those times that yes, you can play piano and we'll support it. So I did that for 5 years and then I decided I was going to go on. I got introduced to show business. Now, as far as personality, I was very shy and I still am. I've always been shy. So piano was a great way for me to play and, get things out, but I wasn't necessarily vulnerable. But singing was vulnerable. So I started as I was playing, it led me to sheet music. And I started wanting to sing some of the things that I was seeing on the sheet music. So I just started doing it, alone. But I couldn't bear the thought of embarrassing myself and singing in front of people and, singing in front of people who would possibly laugh at me. I didn't want that. So the piano was safe. But when I was 18, I was thrown into show business basically, and I fell in love with it. I got the bug and I moved on and I started finding out. I went to Chicago and I found out that I could make money. I needed to support myself, and I found out that I could make money if I played piano and sang. So I tried it and I got paid and it worked, and I did it again and I did it again. And the next thing you know, it became what I did for a living. I was able to support myself. And initially, when I told my parents I was going to sing, they were not supportive because now the piano they were all with, but when I said I wanted to sing, they immediately thought that a lot of the musicians, especially jazz musicians, were, dope fiends and drug addicts and they hung out all night. And in a lot of instances, they were right, but nevertheless, I had my choice and I made my way and, I lived my life. And I hung around people like Bird and different people. I played at Minton's for a while. That was my first official gig, my first club, that I played at. And I played there for a while. And, like I said, I hung with the likes of Charlie Parker and different people. And what I always respected about Bird, as we called him, what I respected about Bird was the fact that, he did his thing. Everybody knew him as a heroin addict. A lot of people knew. But he never introduced it to anybody else as far as I knew. He never asked somebody else to do it with him. And I've always respected that about him. And unfortunately, I had my choice as well. And my thing was cigarettes. I smoked for years. And eventually that led to my demise, unfortunately. It had a respiratory failure. And, I ended up in a coma for 4 days. And on November the 10th, 1994, I transitioned, into the next realm of life. I died on that day, but not, to you. Musically, I will forever be around. So with that in mind, I'm going to do a song that I actually did with Betty Carter. It was a duet. I've done it several times before, but I did it with Betty Carter. And I'm going to slow it down a little bit and, not going to do it as fast as I normally would have, but we're going to get into it. I'm going to ask Mavis Swan Poole to come back and sing it in her way. Oldie but goodie. Isn't it romantic? Music in the night, a dream that can be heard. Isn't it romantic? Moving shadows right, the oldest magic word. I hear the breezes playing in the trees above, while all the world is saying you were meant for love. Isn't it romantic merely to be young on such a night as this? Isn't it romantic? Every note that's sung is like a lover's kiss. Sweet symbols in the moonlight. Do you mean that I will fall in love, virgins? Isn't it romance? I hear the breezes playing in the trees, that I will fall in love for a chance. Isn't it romance? Isn't it romance? Oh. So I'm going to keep it moving. King
Yes,
Rome.
yeah, you can keep it moving, but that was Marvtastic. That was right in sync with what we're doing and showing tonight, my sister. That
Thank
was
you.
the Queen, Mavis Swan Poole. That was, you know, you. Okay, we're past the Sarah on stage. Is that it now?
Never.
I mean the Carmen McRae stage, right?
We're past. Carmen
Okay,
Carmen handed it off and told me.
okay. She handed it off to Mavis.
Yes.
Now Mavis, you know, some years ago, not too long, you actually performed with Gladys Knight on the same bill as Gladys Knight.
Hmm.
What was that like?
That was life changing. It was mind blowing. That was my first time doing a show where I had the whole stage. I couldn't bring a
Mm.
band. I couldn't bring anyone. It was just me. And I opened at DPAC, which is the largest performing arts center in North Carolina. And I got the call to come and open for Gladys Knight, and I mean, it blew my mind. She was so gracious and amazing, and I was nervous. I was nervous because, like I said, it was just me. I was so vulnerable and exposed. I felt, but when I was walking off the stage after I finished performing, I noticed that she and her bandmates were on the side of the stage, and they just, stood there and clapped for me as I walked through, and that just really it touched me. They say never meet your heroes, but she's one that I'm so honored to meet. And after she performed, after her fantastic performance. I ran into her backstage and we started talking, and she was like, "You look familiar." So she remembered that she actually was one of the judges. She remembered me from the Apollo years before. I did Apollo live on BET and Centric, and Belle Biv DeVoe, one of the guys from that group, and Gladys Knight, and someone else. There was one more judge. I can't think of who it was right at this. Oh, Dougie Fresh. He was the last one. But Gladys, she said I was a total package. She said I was a smart performer. She gave me, I mean, beautiful praise, and she remembered me from that night. Didn't remember it clearly, but enough to remember my face, and it was just life changing. It really was. She is one of the people that single handedly changed the course of music for me and the way I was hearing things and interpreting things. So yes, it was life changing. Absolutely.
You you won these awards for how was it for best nominated for best vocalist and best album for soul tracks, the folks at soul tracks.
Yes,
What
that
was that
that
like?
That was a huge honor, more so because it's not like you can nominate yourself. It's like they nominate you. So that to me, um, for best female vocalist as well as, best single, like that really, no, MavisSwanPoole.com. Sorry, not Swan Vocals.
Okay, sounds okay. Cool.
That's okay. That's my old one. It was, something I used, but it's MavisSwanPoole.com.
Yeah,
Thank you for
that
that.
goes away.
Thank you. But yes, so wait, I forgot the question I was answering.
Just receiving the
The
nominations for
Yeah,
those awards,
yes.
and
And
what did you
and
feel?
Lettucey, I think, ended up winning the award. But I'm not one that honestly defines myself by awards. I don't define my craft and my skill by what other people think, even though that was a huge honor. I'm one that I know what's in me because it met me long before I knew myself fully,
Mm-hmm.
So the gift that the creator gave me has been in me and making moves for me, and I've just been following it and aligning my life with it. And I'm not the biggest awards person. However, I do think it's a beautiful sentiment, and it's a way that we put some type of level on things or validation on things for other people. Like, it's a certain level, I guess. But I was honored, to be considered, and that's it. I was honored to just be thought of.
Well, you're being honored tonight because you receiving the Miss Marvtastic Award by being on this show tonight, and
Yeah.
you are one of the ones. One of the voices. One. It's just, you know, I wanted to do this show the last a week of Women's History to celebrate you,
Mm,
Sheryl, Cynthia, April, because
absolutely.
you are the ones that are bringing it up. We have the legends that you'll be talking about or you've been talking about, but you are the ones that people are going to, 10, 20 years from now, you will be in that book. And people will be trying to perform you on stage.
Hmm.
Yes. And I
Hmm.
truly believe it. So I'm just honored to have you on this show for, for the second time, especially this day of Women's History Month.
And thank you so much for having me.
And I thank you and thank you for crowning me a king because that's
Absolutely.
what you do, and, and you crown your sisters queens.
Absolutely.
And I've been picking it up and just throwing it all over the place because there's so many queens out here that are just doing their thing, not just in show business, but in the home. I've got
Hmm.
a queen in my home. It's my wife. Her name is
Hmm.
Sue Neal, and she is truly a queen. Her daughter Leah Neal is a queen. She was a
Absolutely.
princess, becoming a little queen now. But it's just an honor to have great women in your life, and we thank you
Absolutely.
so very much for being a part of this evening. And I know you being a mother, you got to get back to those kids, my starlets, who will be featured in the next musical Kids with Coochie Chakalia in December.
Yes,
Yes, bringing
absolutely.
them back
Yes, yes,
as
yes. Thank
Princess Aria and King.
Yes.
Yes. We thank you so very much for being a part of this magic, my sister.
Absolutely, King. Thank you so much for having me.
Stay blessed, and we'll see you soon, very soon.
Absolutely.
Blessings.
Good night.
Good night, guys. If you're enjoying this show so far, we're just getting started with this fabulous array of wonderfully talented, Marvtastic women in jazz. So sit back. Let's go for the ride. Grab yourself a drink. I got some water here, and let's have some fun. My next guest, she is, I call her my angel. She is truly in my corner. She's a fantastic vocalist. Uh, she she's a businesswoman also. She's has arranged choruses and chorals for movies, and one of the choruses that I was in the movie that was that appeared in This Is Us. We were called to do a call for a choir scene on This Is Us, and lo and behold, we didn't know it was This Is Us, the TV show, but we were the choir there, and Sheryl Renee had put that together. She's been in Colorado, and in Colorado she's performed in shows like Sister Act in Chicago, and being nominated for Best Actress or supporting actresses in these shows. And she's just a ball of fun. And I met her when she first came to New York, and that was October 11th, 2011, or 2010, Monk's birthday. It was a surprise. We'll talk about it later, but I want to introduce you right now to Miss Ella Fitzgerald. Shot to be the bit da da, skit to be the bit day, sweet to be the bit, sweet to away, and let ya. Dibby drill, oh yeah, scabadita, oh yeah, shabadita, oh yeah, dibba shabadabadoo, 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 sweet, oh Lord, now, oh yeah, shabadabadoo, 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 shabadabadoo. The name of this song is Lemon Drop. Ba-da-dee bop is a ba-da-dee dop. Da-do-de-do-de-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-ya-dee-dee-ya. Ba-ba-dee-ba-dee. How high the moon. Oh-dee-ba-dee. Ba-ba-dee-oh. Da-dee-do-do-dee-do. Da-dee-do-do.
da dwee da da dwee da da dwee da da skabba ding 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 shaka ding shaka ding shaka ding shaka ding brrra brrra bing bang ding ding dong gang ding dong ding dang. I've got plenty of nothing and nothing's plenty for me. Dee-ah, dee-da-dee-da-dee-ah, shabba-dabba-da-dee-ah, dee-da-dee-da-dee-ah. The name of this song, that's Lemon Drop. Da-da-dee-ah, da-dee-ah, da-dee-ah, wee, sweet-ah. Woo! Scat. People ask me all the time if I invented scat singing. And I did have rhythm. I love to dance. As a matter of fact, my first time on stage, I was 15 years old, and my girlfriends made a bet with me that I would enter the Apollo amateur hour. So I did it. I signed up to dance. And right before the amateur hour, they had the feature talent. And that night it was the Edwards sisters. I'm telling you, the dancingest singers in the dancers in the world. These ladies just tore the roof off the place. So when it was time for me to go up, I lost my nerve. And I was out there first time in front of all the lights, and I heard someone in the audience say, well, what's she gonna do? So I asked the musical director to play Judy by Connie Boswell, and well, I guess they liked me because I won first place. Yeah, that opportunity. From there, I was introduced to the great Chick Webb, the late great Chick Webb. Oh, he opened so many doors and just turned my life around. Before long, I was singing with him at the Savoy Ballroom and different places, and I used to listen to the cats on the bandstand just playing those licks, and oh, the way they improvised. Before long, I started mimicking them. And after a while, I could imitate every instrument on the bandstand. But I have to say, it was Pops, Louis Armstrong, who introduced scat singing to the world. That's right, Pops, we had so much fun. I tell you, working with Pops wasn't like working at all. And I used to love to hear him say, hey, sing it out loud. Oh, Pops. Well, that song that I just sang, Lemon Drop, was the song that we used for the Memorex commercial. You know the one, is it live or is it Memorex? Well, that commercial introduced me to people around the world. I tell you, no matter what language, I would hear people say, Memorex. And it just opened so many doors for me. But it was only one avenue because a long career started. I did dance halls and ballrooms and nightclubs, concerts, festivals, and oh wow, I did radio, movies. Oh, I had so much fun doing movies. And television. As a matter of fact, they say that I appeared on more television shows and daytime talk shows and variety shows than any other black singer from our day. And I'm very proud of that. But one thing I never got a chance to do was to appear on Broadway. But luckily for myself and so many of the great singers, a lot of the songs that we sang back then came from Broadway shows. And one that stands out in particular for me was Porgy and Bess. how I loved the music from that opera. And a lot of us recorded it, but I had my own arrangement, and I'd like to share it with you now. It takes place in the 1930s in Catfish Row, Charleston, South Carolina. You've got Porgy, a crippled beggar, and Bess, who they call fast and free. But one day Bess is beat up and she's beat down, and the only person who will take her in is Porgy, and he loves her back to life. I wanna stay here, but I ain't worthy. You are too decent to understand, for when I see him, he hypnotizes me. When he takes hold of me with his hot hands. Someday I know he's coming back to call me. He's gonna handle me and hold me so. It's going to be like dying, Porgy, deep inside me. But when he calls, I'll have to go. When he calls, I'll have to go. I love you, Porgy. Don't let him take me. Don't let him handle me and drive me mad. If you can't keep me, I wanna stay here with you forever, and I'll be glad. Porgy eyes, your woman now. I is, and I ain't never going nowhere, lest you share the fun. There's no wrinkle on my brow, no how, but I ain't going. You hear me saying, if you ain't going, with you I'm staying. Porgy, I is your woman now. I's yours forever. Morning time and evening time, and winter time and summertime. Morning time and evening time, and winter time and summertime. Oh, my Porgy, my man, From this moment, I'm telling you, I take this foul porgy. I, your woman, now eyes your woman now. Yeah.
Got that out there. Boy,
Woo!
oh wow, that was Marvtastic, Cheryl.
Thank you,
You
Rome.
you don't we say we don't need no music. All we got is a voice, baby.
Oh man, I tried to find that track, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, no, this is working. You made up for it. You made up for it in a wonderful way. Awesome. Listen,
Thank you.
like I was telling people earlier, you've been my angel in my corner for quite a few years. We met about 11 years ago,
Yep.
and what was that? What was the name of the club we met at?
At the Lennox, we met at the Lennox
The
Lounge.
Linux Lounge.
It was a Monk's birthday, and I
Mm-hmm.
was getting ready to sing Round Midnight, and James Carter was there, and James said, "Rome Neal is here, and he's going to sing Round Midnight." I was like, "Okay."
Excuse me, right?
Yeah, and you did a great job. And then I
Thank
went and
you.
saw your show uh, the following month. It was
Ooh.
at a new club, something about pigs. Oh, I can't think of the name of that club. You did Monk at, but anyway,
Mm-hmm.
fabulous job. And of course, 2 years ago, I brought you to Denver, Colorado, to do it
That's
here
right. That's so
for
true.
the centennial um, anniversary for Thelonious Monk. So
That was right before I gave you the Rome Neal Shakeaway Award.
that's right. Here we
That's
are.
right. Yeah, and which you so deserving of that award because like folks know that I only give that award to people who have done wonderful things in the arts and for the arts, and you have been both of those doing wonderful shows as well as being so supportive of the arts, not only for Rome Neal but for other artists like Frank Sr. And so many other Eric Frazier and all these other wonderful artists. And your skills outnumber themselves because you're a designer. You talk about yourself. Um, I can go on. You're a designer, a
Thank you. Well,
scenic
yeah, I do
designer.
graphics. I do graphics, web design, props designer. I have a interior redesign business. I do staging and whatnot, as well as every avenue of singing, music, producing that I can. So I've been very blessed. Got a chance to sing the national anthem for President Obama when he signed the economic stimulus bill in 2009, and that was definitely a career highlight. But my career, I don't know that I'll ever measure up to Ella Fitzgerald, who recorded over 200 albums. I think the days of doing that kind of stuff are over, and she traveled so much. She traveled over 300 days a year. I mean, it was just that music was all in her. And so I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to pay homage to her because I just love her.
Well, I appreciate you doing it in such a wonderful way. Like I said, you're not just a wonderful, awesome actress, vocalist, but you just do so many things. And I appreciate the graphic design that you did for the flyer for this show too,
Oh,
and so many
yes.
other
Thank you
shows
so
that
much.
I've done. Like I said, you've truly been in my corner and a Banana Pudding Jazz sponsor for quite a while also.
Yes.
So, you know, hey, with friends, sisters like you, I can't go wrong. I can't go
Thank
wrong.
you,
Thank you so
Rome.
very much.
Thank you for having me.
And My pleasure. And we've got to do more shows again on this level, and when we come together, either in Colorado or here in back in New York. Oh, I remember that other show we did together at Banana Pudding Jazz was Motown.
Yes. Oh
Yes,
man, that's so with Patsy Grant and Frank Senior and Lawrence Anthony and Dennis Day
yes.
and the late Michael
Michael
Overstreet.
Michael Overstreet.
Yes.
That's right.
Oh man, yeah, we had some good times. Good times.
Okay, well, listen, thank you for this good time because it was really a marvtastic time to be with you in broadcast studio and sharing you with the world.
Thank you so much, and Mavis was fabulous, and I'm looking forward to hearing the other ladies.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, my sister.
All right.
And you the one, actually, you're the one that got it. You called me a bro star.
Yeah,
And I said, a bro
and that
star.
thing took off, didn't it?
It took off. I call all my friends bro stars now, or my
And
good
sister,
friends bro
yeah,
stars, because they are stars, and they're in their own right, and we should appreciate each other like that,
yeah.
in the at the highest level. Love you, sis.
Love you, Rome.
We'll
Thank
talk
you,
to
my
you soon.
brother.
Peace
Thank
and
you.
blessings.
Okay.
Yes, folks, that show Renee. You remember that lady because she is not through with you yet. She's got more skills and talents to share with the world. Actually, she's getting ready to go to Hawaii. She's going to move there. She's going to stay there and test the waters out with her businesses. And she's got a few gigs there already, but she'll be leaving us. And she's got a show. You should put it on the in the comments there. A fundraising drive to get there and start her new adventure in Maui, Hawaii. She's been there before performing with Frida Payne and a few other great stars. So check her out and support what she does also. Okay, folks, coming to us next is she's one of the Marvtastic ladies of the music. She's a living legend. She's been all around the world. Uh, she's the U.S. State Department ambassador. She's performed in Russia and Ukraine, and they even had a mural of her in Ukraine. I don't know if it's there anymore, but she's just a fabulous vocalist, and we're so honored to have her on the show. If we can come up with the show. Oh, sorry. Hey, girl. Let me see if I can find. Okay, there's Cynthia. Right. Hey, Cynthia.
Hey, baby.
Let me come out of this one here. Oh, so you okay? Shows out. Cynthia. Oh, where? Here we go. There's Cynthia Scott. Hi. Oh, poor baby.
Shut up. Shut up.
Poor baby. I had you booked into the show to swing some fabulous songs and perform these little, do what you do, being Miss Marvtastic yourself. And you had to go out there and get some viral infection. Luckily, it's not COVID, but you know,
No, it's not. I did a test to said negative, but
you,
no, it's an upper respiratory. And I took antibiotics. As a matter of fact, I finished with those yesterday, but today it's not getting any better. So I'm gonna, make an appointment to go see my ENT on tomorrow to make sure, you know.
well, listen, it's just an honor to have you in the house and to be able to celebrate with you on this month of Marvtastic women and celebrating Marvtastic women in the music, um, especially the vocalists who you are and have been around for so many years. I know you have so many great stories to tell, and I just want to touch on some of the good one. Not the, don't give us no bad news. Give us some of the good stories about some of the great people that you've worked with over the years. I know you've worked with um, Wynton Marsalis. He asked you to come to Lincoln Center Jazz to be one of the first ones to open up the Rome's Room with your beautiful voice. And it was, as you told me, it was a test, but you did a full concert there, the first one to do that. Um, you and a lot of people don't know that you were one of the original Raylettes performing with Ray Charles also. So yeah, talk about that. Talk about these experiences.
Well,
Since you can't sing for us, you might as well talk to us.
well, I'll start back with Ray. To be called up at 5 o'clock in the morning from this man who was such a phenomenal artist. And I got a call from him at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was living in Dallas. I had been an airline stewardess after I graduated from high school. I went to be an airline stewardess with an airline called Texas International. And I'm probably sure a lot of you out there probably never heard of it. But if you're old as I am, you know Texas International. And there was a 5 o'clock call in the morning coming from Ray. And I didn't believe it. I was fighting with the dog because the dog was in the bathroom, believe it or not, chewing on my panties and woke me up. And at the time, I'm fighting with him to get my panties. This is a true story. The phone rings, and I answered, and I was very agitated. I was like, "Hello." He said, "Good morning." I said, "Who is this?" Like at 5 o'clock in the morning. He said, "This is Brother Ray." And I said, Brother Ray who?" And he said, "Brother Ray Charles." And I just went numb and dumb and listened to him ask me to come and join him. And I said, with my paranoia, "Oh, I can't leave my job because uh, I work for General Motors and I'm a secretary." And he said, "Well, how much time do you need?" And I thought, and I said, 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I was in uh, Copenhagen, and that was the first time I'd ever been on an international flight, and got there with $10 in my pocket and jet lag like I had never known existed. And they pick me up, take me to the room, but in about 20 minutes they tell me I've got to meet Ray and the Raylets in the lobby, and because we have to rehearse. And I'm like, okay. And I showed up in the lobby, and after Ray finished rehearsing the band, jet lag, he called me up and he said, "Let's see what the new girl has got." So it was a test. And the other Raylets were sitting around, and he said he called out this high pitched voice, and y'all can tell from my voice, I am not a soprano. I am contralto, alto. Stevie Wonder said, "You're contralto." I don't know what I am, but I try to sing it all because I teach vocals. And he gave me this high pitch, and I said, "That's too high." And he said, "Well, I need to put you on a plane and send you back to Texas now." And that pissed me off because I had quit my job and I was in a foreign country and I had $10 in my pocket and he was talking about sending me back home. Oh, Rome, I was pissed. And I looked at him and I said, "Play it again." And when he played it again, I screamed it in his ear. I can't do it now because I don't know what it would come out. And he said, "Well, by God, I think she's got it." And that was the beginning of my life with the Ray Charles. And there are many stories to tell about Ray because y'all know the stories about Ray. But Ray had his private plane, his limousine, his dress designers. You take a country girl out of elevator and you put her in that element, you're going to create a monster. And probably a few people would say that. So it's been,
Well, you had the opportunity to take all this information that you're sharing with us now, and you put it in a one woman show. And
yes,
I thank excuse me.
shut up. Go ahead.
I thank you for that because with that one woman show, you called me down, to just go help you out with the just look at being the director that I am, to look it over, and so I had the opportunity just to sit with you and go through that show a couple of times, and it's a fantastic piece, folks. So if she ever stages it again, please go see it. It's uh, Cynthia Scott, My Life as a Raylet, right? Is
My
that
one Let's Journey.
Journey? Yes,
And
yes.
it's all original material with the exception of one song. As a matter of fact, the main song in it is called Dream for One Bright World. And you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I wrote that long time ago, and I wrote Dream for One Bright World and recorded it back in 2009.
Mm.
And and look where we are. We need to all be in the Dream for One Bright World right now. And this is my T-shirt, Dream for One Bright World T-shirt that I'm going to start selling. My Dream for One Bright World hat. I've got a Dream for One Bright World face mask. So if everybody put on the Dream for One Bright World face mask and everybody sees that, maybe a message will go out that we need to snap out of it and wake up that, we can't just dream it, but we have to wake up and also start to live the dream and make the dream happen. So there's a lot of craziness going on to the point where the last 10 years, Rome, I've decided that I only want to do music or write music that has some kind of message. I'm a PK's daughter. I'm a preacher's daughter. And 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 Nancy Wilson was a big influence with me. And Nancy wouldn't sing songs if they didn't connect to her. She just would not do it. She said it had to mean something to her. And being coming from out of the church, I felt like it had to mean something for me too, also.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So all of the songs that I try to present right now, whether it's Dream for One Bright World, when the pandemic started happening, I live here in New York, and the sirens, the ambulances was going nonstop, 24/7. I nearly lost my mind. But I wrote this song called "Hold On, Stay Strong," and I had written it when they had the the um, the thing in New Orleans. What was it called? When they had,
Katrina.
huh?
Katrina.
Yeah, the Katrina. I wrote it when I saw these people standing up on top of a house with signs saying, "Save us, save us." And I thought, oh my God, I was like, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the time I was in Chicago doing a tribute to Ray with David Fathead Newman, Leroy Cooper. As a matter of fact, the first time I ever met Johnny O'Neill, because he was on piano, and it just broke my heart to see people standing on a roof with water, surrounded by water, saying,
Mm.
"Save us, save us." So I was saying, hold on, stay strong. Even though life seems unbearable and you're just trying to breathe, hold on. And I said, I know you ask, hold on to what? What have I got? What is left? What you have is you still have yourself. And there are angels all over the world, and they will hear your cry. So just hold on.
Mm.
So I re-recorded that when I kept hearing those ambulances and put a little video to it and added the the sirens, because I actually was able to record the sirens, and I put it at the end of the recording. So my life now, I love music, but I at this point I am about singing something that has a message, not only for me, but hopefully for everyone else in the world. Um, so that's basically it.
I
Um,
want I want to just go back to the Raylets. I got a picture here. Tell me what's going on in this picture.
well, I'm about 21, 22 years old. The girl to the right is Madeline Quebec. And the girl to my left is Mabel John. That was Lil Willie John's sister. Do you remember
Mm.
Lil Willie John?
Yes, I do.
And that's Dorothy Berry to the left. And then we had Bonita Otterberry, but her picture's not there. I remember that picture. We were in New York at the Waldorf Astoria when the guy took that picture. I heard we've lost Dorothy. I don't know about Madeline. And Mabel is very much alive and kicking. Mabel will be here when I'm gone, I think. But that was, and we had beautiful dress designer arpeggios. I don't know how I can remember that, but it was a wonderful experience, and I take nothing for it. I appreciate the fact that Ray exposed me to that kind of life very early on. I mean, it just kind of set the pace for
Hmm.
who I would become. Because I saw it from the. I could tell you stories about James Brown. I could tell you stories about.
Yeah,
Uh,
since we're talking about women and Marvtastic women. Tell me some stories about some of these Marvtastic women that you met during the course of your 30 something odd years in the
Well,
music.
everybody that you showed tonight, I met all of them. As a matter
Hmm.
of fact, we went to New Orleans. We were opening up at the I'm trying to think if it was the Waldorf or whatever, but Ella was closing as we were coming in. And we always would get in a night or two early. And I didn't even know who Ella was. But I remember Jimmy Rose was on the piano and
Mm.
he was really messing her up that night. And I just remember her saying, Jimmy, please, But she was singing at a level and over my head that I had to come and understand. Now, Nancy Wilson, if you look at me and you look at Nancy Wilson, you swear she was my sister. Uh, and Nancy and I have had many talks together. And I asked her one time, I said, well, what do you say to people when they say they look like you and sound like you? And she said, you just say thank you very much and just keep on moving. Because I did. I sang everything that, in the beginning that she recorded. I love Face It Girl. I've got a thing on YouTube, a tribute to her. So if you get a chance to check it out. And it was called Guess Who I Saw Today.
Hmm.
And I was really able to sing that song once I had lived that experience. When you see your man with another woman, and in this case, with your best friend,
Mm.
believe me, when you sing that song, you will know what you're singing about. There's a song in the old sanctified church, I'm going to live the life that I sing about in my
Mm.
songs. Okay. So I wouldn't sing songs about somebody, my man beat me too. I was like, oh, no, no, no. We ain't singing those songs about no beating. No, 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 no. We're not going to do that. So if you hear the album, Dream for One Bright World, everything is on there. The Man in the Street was talking about homelessness.
Hmm.
All About Love is just talking about love. Vision on High is a song about a vision that I saw as a child that I just denied that I saw it, but I saw it.
Hmm.
And that story is coming. And I wrote the song about the singers. And I pay tribute to all of the great singers
Okay,
that
before you talk
influenced
about
me.
the singers, I'm sorry. Before you, there's a singer pianist that you had a gig and you hired him. He was newly from New Orleans to play for you. What was his name?
You talking about Larry Siebert? Or are we talking about Harry Connick?
Harry Connick. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Well, Larry Siebert was the piano player. And
Hmm.
when Larry couldn't make it, Harry Connick was our sub.
Hmm.
As a matter of fact, there was a club downtown called Chelsea Place. Did you ever go there, Rome?
No, no.
You didn't know about Chelsea Place?
That's
Oh,
before my time.
oh my God. Chelsea Place was
Um,
the
oh
place. You
wow.
hear me? Chelsea Place was the place. Mike Wolf, who was the piano player for Arsenio Hall, he worked
Yes.
with me there. And they all went on to do, great things. But yeah, Harry and I did quite a few things there. I remember, no, I won't share that story. Harry called me at one time, but I won't share that story. Okay. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. I'm going to be good. I promised you I was going to be good.
Now
All right.
now the song about the singers that you
Yeah.
about to talk about.
Well, I pay tribute and I talk about the ones that I heard and then the ones that not only did I hear, but that I studied, because I didn't meet Donna Washington, but I was almost signed by the manager that signed her, Clyde Otis. That's another story. Um, and I talk about Sarah, Dinah, Billy, Billie Holiday. It took me a minute to get to her. And the reason it did is because Billy went to another level in terms of singing, and I call it with your emotions on your sleeve so everybody could see it. It
Mm.
was almost like a bleed. I hadn't gotten there yet. I'm there now. There are songs that you can sing and they can feel like you're bleeding and showing the audience your blood while you're bleeding. All right. And when in the play, I sing this song and then I do the part about, if I had to do it all over again, I bet we would. And then as I walk off, Billy said, no, we wouldn't. Hell no. And I said, hell no, we wouldn't. And I said, who said that? And of course I said it was probably Billy because I think of all the singers that that I pay tribute to, seemed like to me she suffered the most. You know, I don't know, but to me, she suffered. She truly, truly suffered. So this song is was a tribute to her. I did it in Dallas. I think you're going to bring it up. I did it in Dallas. Um, I think it was the Women's Museum or someplace like that. And I brought in Lafayette Harris to play.
Well, here we go.
Okay.
She stands before the throne to sing her magic songs. They talk, they eat, they laugh, they joke about the past. The music starts to play. It's too late now to pray. Her voice begins to climb so high, just like a swallow in the sky. Just a singer singing her magic song. Just a singer singing them all night long. The girl is a singer singing her magic song. Only a singer singing them all night long. A sudden hush comes in like the tide. Glasses are lowered, but eyes are raised high. It is strange to hear each endearing sound. Our hearts command minds to lay all things aside. The beauty of the sound embraces those around. And if you just listen, you will hear she bare her soul to all. It is her lovely song. Just a singer singing her magic song. Just a singer singing them all night long. The girl is a singer singing her magic song. Only a singer singing them all night long. I'm talking about Sarah. They call her Sassy. And Ella could jump it. And then there was Carmen McRae. Now Carmen could tell you a story. Shirley Horn could make you believe. And then there was Billy. Billy wore her emotions on her sleeve. And Dinah, oh Dinah was the queen of the blues.
Woo! Sing on.
Sing on.
Go
Sing
ahead,
on.
Cynthia. I remember hearing you sing that at Minton's Playhouse one night.
Yeah.
That's my wife and I were there for our anniversary.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah.
yeah, and that song just blew me away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
blew
that
us away.
saxophone player, it was a Prince's saxophone player, and I had never met him. He just, I was another time. I was just exhausted. I had
Hmm.
just come in, and he showed up with no rehearsal, no nothing. Just came up on that stage, and he was Prince's saxophone player. Andre, that boy can play.
Yes, you
He can
can.
play. Hmm.
And you can sing, girl. You can sing. You can.
Thank you, Rome.
You know,
Thank you.
some singers they're able to sing through a cold and everything. Have you ever had to do that before?
I did many, many, many years ago before I ever moved to New York. And
Hmm.
what it did is I damaged something and I lost my voice for months.
Ooh.
So I just said it, never, never again. You know,
Right,
never
right.
again.
Understandable.
Hmm.
Well, you listen. I'm just so glad you didn't cancel out on us because your stories and your history is profound, and we needed to hear it. We needed to see and feel your presence because you are one of the Marvtastic ladies of jazz.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so very much for being here, and we'll talk, girl.
What we gonna talk about now?
We're going to talk about the show, and we're going to talk about getting that play of yours up again because someone just put a comment that said they want to see that play, that one woman show.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, let's do it. Let's do it.
okay, darling. Take care.
Okay.
Much.
Thank you,
Thank you
everywhere.
for being a
Y'all enjoy
part.
the rest of the show. Thank you for tuning in.
Woo! Folks, if you really enjoyed the show, if you enjoy what I'm doing here, been doing here for the past 2 years since the pandemic, doing my Rome Neal's Banana Pudding Jazz virtually, um, bringing in guests from their own homes to come into broadcast studio and share with you around the world. If you really enjoyed, please write down there below in YouTube, put a comment there, make a contribution. Go to the website romeneal.com and make a contribution. Find out about some of the shows that you missed. Just be a part of the magic that we've been creating for Banana Pudding Jazz. For April will be the 19th year of doing Rome Neal's Banana Pudding Jazz. Started at the world famous the Eureka Poets Cafe, and we're still going strong. Thankful for some wonderful people who stepped to the plate and became sponsors of Banana Pudding Jazz over the past few years, holding it down. I want to give a shout out to one of my great sponsors, Mr. John D. Smith, and he's been a sponsor of Banana Pudding Jazz for over 16, 17 years, and it's it's not only a sponsor, but he goes around and he tells people about the show, promotes it, and lets people know what I'm doing, and you know it's good to have good people in your corner, people who really appreciate who you are and what you do, and I'm so very grateful to have folks like John D. Smith as one of my sponsors of Banana Pudding Jazz this month and every month for the past, like I said, I think it's about 18 years, yeah, really. So we need more, we need your support. Um, Again, go to romeneal.com and go PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, send us some money so we can keep doing this. Thankful for some of the sponsors we've got. With the Jazz Foundation, my good friend Ron Cephas Jones, the Emmy award-winning actor, two-time, was it two-time award-winning actor, who started with me in theater at the New Eureka Poets Cafe for a wonderful show called Don't Explain by Samuel Hobbs. He won the Adelco Award for that show, and then he went on and just have done astounding work throughout the world with his wonderful craft as an actor. There's Ron Cephas Jones. There's my son who did the video montage and's been doing the video montage for Rome Neal, and he's directing his own documentary, uh, Black Theater project that's soon to come out. We're still working on that one. He pulled me in as a producer, and he's been helping me out by editing those intro outros for you. We have Black Black Repertory group out of Oakland, California, who's been a sponsor for this past year also. So some wonderful people. I don't have all the names in front of me. I'll get to it toward the end. But right now, I'd like to bring to you a fantastic Marvtastic. You know, marvelous, fantastic, marvelous. That's the word that Larry Leon Hamlin of the National Black Theater Festival in Winston-Salem penned, and I've been using it, and we should all use it because it means marvelous, fantastic. And when you say marvelous, fantastic, let's think of a wonderful, marvelous, fantastic woman who's an award-winning vocalist from Newton, Kansas, a co-founder of the jazz duo called Sounds of A&R, better known or sometimes known as Soar, because they soar like an eagle in the sky. She founded the group along with her partner in crime, trumpeter Randall Haywood. Now, they were not only partners in the music, but they became partners in life when they got married. A&R has been on the National Jazz Week charts and landed Jazz Week's top 100 albums of the year. She is also, and her and Randall have also worked with my son, a son in the play Monk. His name is Thelonious Spear Monk III. She's worked with him and toured around the city with him, around the country with him. Just recently, she received the second place spot for the Sarah Vaughan International Vocal Competition at NJ Pack in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. They said she won second. She came up second place. In my heart and my soul, I know she was first place. Let's have a hand for April May Webb. Let me take Cynthia Scott out of there, because where is she? She's finished. Boom.
Hello.
Hi, April May.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going quite wonderful. Good to have you on board.
Oh, good to be here.
Listen, you have just been doing it, girl.
I've been trying.
Yeah, you're not trying. You said, like the word says, soar. You've been soaring, all over the place. We'll talk a little later, but I just want to introduce April May, because she is going to transform herself into none other than Betty Carter.
Known for my complex and imaginative vocal improvisations, I am Betty Carter, born Lily Mae Jones in 1929. I am a jazz vocal pioneer. My career was wide-ranging, spanning the genres of bebop, post-bop, and avant-garde, and my influence is profound. Born in Flint, Michigan, I studied piano at the Detroit Conservatory of Music, and I sang as a teenager in Detroit jazz clubs. I found early inspirations in the musical styles of good old Louis Armstrong, Billie Holiday, and Coleman Hawkins, but was most drawn to the innovators of bebop, especially the music of Charlie Parker. Through the mid-1940s, I made my way in the industry, landing a stint with big band musician Lionel Hampton that lasted several years. During my time with Hampton, my preference for bebop was so well known and my affinity for improvisation was so strong that Hampton jokingly referred to me as Betty Bebop, a name I would adopt momentarily before settling on my stage name, Betty Carter. My real rise in jazz would begin in the 1950s, when I performed with such figures as Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Thelonious Monk, and Charlie Parker in venues including Harlem's Apollo Theater, the Village Vanguard, and Blues Alley in D.C. Jazz critics found my voice to be on par with Sarah Vaughan and Billie Holiday. I toured with pianist, composer, and bandleader Ray Charles in the early 1960s, releasing the legendary collaborative album Ray Charles and Betty Carter. After working with Charles and touring to Japan with Sonny Rollins, I put my career on hold for several years to get married, and I raised my 2 sons, returning to the studio briefly to record my 1963 album, Round Midnight. Now, during this time, I was becoming very dissatisfied with Atlantic Records and their oversight of my creative process. The label, for example, refused to let me work with composer and multi-instrumentalist Oliver Nelson, who is considered one of the best composers and arrangers of my era. No longer willing to compromise my music for the demands of a record company, I was determined to forge my own path, and a path that was mine. I started my own label, Bet Carr Productions, in 1969, on which I released the album Betty Carter. In an industry dominated by men, I was steadfast to the commitment to the integrity of the genre and my insistence on excellence. I can only be grateful for the music and a remarkable career that continues to touch the lives of many still to this day. Say do lu deo, say you let do boy you do, say you happened to pass your doorway, gave you a buzz, that's all. Lately I thought lots about you, so I thought I'd pay a social call. Do you recall the old days we used to have a ball? Not that I'm lonesome without you, I just thought I'd pay you a social call. I'd lie and say that I'm swell, but to tell the truth, I haven't been too well. And if you should try to kiss me, promise that you won't stop. Maybe we'll get back together, starting from this incidental, elemental, simple social call. But to pass your doorway, gave you a buzz, that's all. Lately I thought lots about you, so I thought I'd pay you a social call. Do you recall the old days we used to have a ball? Not that I'm lonesome without you, I just thought I'd pay you a social call. I'd lie and say that things are just swell, but to tell the truth, I haven't been too well. And if you should try to kiss me, promise that you won't stop. Maybe we'll get back together, starting from this incidental, elemental, simple social call. That is Charlie Sigler on the guitar. Say ya doodly, say you la pui, say de ya doodla do ba ba ba. Sabo ya doodly ya, sabo ya di ya doodle 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 doodle. Say ya doodly do ya doodle do. Say ya doodle do ya doodle do. Say doodle do ya. I'd sit there and lie and say that I'm swell, but to tell the truth, I haven't been too well. And if you should try to kiss me, promise that you won't stop. Maybe we'll get back together, starting from this incidental, elemental, simple.
Whoa. Whoa. Just like these folks are saying, awesome sounds. That's an awesome story. That's an awesome story. You know, when I came up with this vision for you ladies not to just sing, but to become to take on these icons, I'm so glad I did, because I get to see another side of my soulful singing sisters, which are you're wonderful actresses also. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. I'm glad I got through that monologue.
Hey, listen, this is just the beginning. We're just giving you a workout for things to come, you know.
Okay.
That big movie deal coming up. But you did it quite wonderful. As Miss Betty Carter, you didn't tell us anything about Mr. Danny Nixon, your second husband.
Some things are left to be unsaid.
You go ahead, girl. But listen, let's talk about you. And okay, I know that you won that award for best jazz group. A&R won that best, and I was there at the what were we?
At
Birdland,
Birdland, yeah.
Birdland that night.
Yeah.
Hot House Jazz Magazine and Jazz Mobile actually gave you guys as the best dual couple group
Yes.
award. And was that your first time as a group getting an award like that from the jazz community?
Absolutely. That was, I believe that's probably our first major award in the jazz community, especially in the heart of New York at the legendary Birdland. It was just such a surreal moment. And yes, you were there. You were cheering us on, and we were so glad to see you there. Yeah, Randall and myself. So, yeah, we had such a wonderful time, and we were just so honored to receive that award.
And then you go back to your hometown in Newton, Kansas, and they honor you with what?
Yes, I was inducted into the Newton Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
Yes. So that was such a beautiful night as well. So I have two older brothers, and you just heard them on the track that we just did. So
Wow.
my older brother, Nathan, he was on the drums, and my other older brother, Jacob, was playing the bass. And we were all inducted to the Newton High School Hall of Fame back in May of last year. So that was such a special moment.
I need for you to talk about we know that you are just a wonderful vocalist, but there's always others. You can't just live by bread alone or vocal alone in this world. You've taken on another aspect of the business, which is vintage clothing.
Yes. So I like to look at fashion. Fashion is really like another expression of art that Randall and I love to showcase. And I love vintage fashion, especially. And so we decided to open a online vintage boutique where when we go to different places and different cities around the country and different places around the world, we like to pick up items. I love to go to the vintage shops. I've gotten Randall on board. First, he wasn't so into it. He was like, this stuff is used. And I was like, but it's got history. It's got culture. And I got him into it. So, we love to incorporate all the vintage styles and fashion in our covers, of our album covers, and when we perform on stage. And we also sell it on our online boutique, which is soarvintage.com.
Oh, great. The other thing I like about, we as a community is that when we see wonderful talent, we get the opportunity to share that talent with other folks. And I had the opportunity to share YouTube with my good friend Carl Clay at the Black Spectrum Theater.
Yes, we and I was telling you before how appreciative we are that you introduced us to him, because in that short time that you introduced us, we actually got to perform at the jazz festival that he puts on every year in Queens, the St. Albans Jazz Festival, and we got to open for Angie Stone last year. So it was just an awesome experience.
What's next for you guys?
So, what's next? We actually have a performance coming up next month, April 20th, in Harlem with Jazzmobile. They do what you call Jazzmobile sessions, and we will be performing there in Harlem at the Intercity Church on April 20th at 7 p.m., and it is free. And all you have to do is register, and you can find out information from jazzmobile.org.
Now, I know, Thelonious Monk, T.S. Monk, and and that's where I first saw. I think that was where we first met.
At Dizzy's.
At Dizzy's Coca-Cola, and what is it like performing with T.S.? Because he's a ball of fire.
Yes, he is. He's been so gracious and allowing Randall and I to exist on his platform. One of the things he likes to say before his shows or during his shows is that he says, I have a band within a band. And he always likes to give Randall and I our props, and he features us. And Randall is actually the music director of the band as well. So he just has taken us under his wing, and he's really just allowing us to perform at the highest level and opening doors that may not have been opened, so fast or even at all, and just letting us rock with him. And we just love him to pieces. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's truly a gem, and
he is.
And we're blessed for having folks like him. I know in the band, my good friend Patience Higgins is always performing with him also.
Absolutely, yes, he is.
We could stay here forever, but we don't have forever because there's other things to do. But right now, I just want to thank you and thank Randall for being part of my life, because you add such beauty and magical music, when you hit the scene. And I remember one of the Banana Puddin' Jazz we did was couples, married couples. And you were just married.
Yeah, we just got married.
We
was fresh off the boat.
Yes, but you were doing it. And it was just, I just love these themes that I keep coming up with. Marvtastic ladies in jazz, married couples doing jazz. What's next? I don't know. I'm making it up as I go along, but it's been a wonderful journey. And listen, more to come, and stay blessed and keep on making beautiful music, and I'm in your corner.
We so appreciate it, and I appreciate it very dearly.
Peace and blessings.
Yes, blessings.
Folks, if you enjoyed what you've seen here, please make a comment down there, right down below in the comment section on YouTube, and just let us know what you're feeling. Become a subscriber by hitting the subscribe button, hit the bell to be alerted for future shows to come. Also, be abreast of just liking it. You can like it, or you can don't like it also. But if you don't like it, shut up. Anyway, that's I wanted someone to read the Banana Puddin' Jazz poem, and no one jumped on it. So I don't know. Maybe I can pull it off this time. I don't usually read these poems well, so we're going to put some music up under it, and we're going to, from the comment section, we're going to make it out of a poem for you guys. The Banana Puddin' Jazz poem. This is the poem that the audience writes. If you like the poem, it's yours. Make contact and I'll send it to your email it to you. Sounds of A&R soar, sending prayers. Go, Mavis. Maybe you'll make some comments, folks, and we can use the words for the Banana Puddin' Jazz poem, a group poem that you all write. Jazz singers are soul swingers. Thanks for showcasing these Marvtastic women in jazz for Women's History Month 2022. Rome Neal Shakeaway Award goes to Sheryl, Renee. Beautiful voices. Bravo. Hey, Miss Cynthia, love you. Lovely Miss Scott. Feel better soon, Cynthia. Hurry to get back to your dynamic performance. Greetings, Cynthia. You're the best. Keep shining. I pray you have a speedy recovery, Miss Cynthia. Even though you don't feel 100%, it is so good to see you. Cynthia, the ultimate performer. You have an amazing gift. Thank you for sharing with us. Wonderful. Cynthia Scott, living legend. I loves me some Nancy Wilson, and I loves me some Cynthia Scott. Hey, Rome, I just happened to catch this. An incredible composer, songwriter, as well as amazing performer. What an incredible tribute to many jazz greats. Fire, as the young folks would say, fire. One of my favorite tunes on the CD. Alan tickling the hell out of those keys, yes. Fantastic. Cynthia Scott, our angel. Thanks for shining and sharing, Rome. Peace and blessings. Sing on, love the Shakeaway Award effects. Absolutely phenomenal. Definitely. Thank you, Rome. Awesome sounds, A&R April. Wow, so exquisite. Awesome sounds, A&R April. Magnificent. Sing, young lady. Bravo. Clap, 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 clap. Beautiful April. Great performance, lovely sound. Love all the art, Rome. How cool, ain't Angie Stone? A great group sound, A&R. Beautiful smile, April May. All the best to you. Wonderful presentation of these Marvtastic ladies of jazz. And that was the Banana Puddin' Jazz poem I just made out of the comments that you shared with us. Make some more comments down in the on the YouTube, and share the wealth by telling people if they missed this show, they can also see it again via going to the link, and you're back at seeing the show. Forever. It's documented, it's history, it's herstory, it's life, and it's love, and I love sharing it with you. I want to wish you all peace and blessings, and please support Banana Puddin' Jazz. Enjoy this closing of the show as fine. We'll be with you in a second. Oh, no, before we close, I have to make an announcement. April 30th, yours truly will open the new artistic music space called the Betty Carter Auditorium at part of the Major Owens facility, health facility on Eastern Park. Is on Bedford Avenue near Eastern Parkway. So please come out, save that date. Again, yours truly will be opening that date. It's going to be a fantastic night. I have my wonderful quintet to be playing, so I'm so looking forward to having my own concert for a change. I've been doing concerts for so many other folks and sharing and promoting so many folks. Someone just hired me to do a concert, so I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you'll all be in the house to enjoy the evening with me as we close out this show. And thank you all for being a part of the magic that we've created today, and with more to come in the future. Peace. Something about it? Oh, okay.